Hey guys, what's good? Derek here from Bomb Socks with another day of Bomb Bites, where we feast upon the words of Christ one bite at a time. So today I want to get into kind of a character sketch of two individuals and show you the foil between one really bad guy and one really good guy, and to see the influence that these guys have. First of all, we're going to start with the bad guy. In fact, he might be, in my opinion, the worst bad guy best bad guy. I don't know how that works out. He's a bad dude. Worst one in the Book of Mormon, in my opinion. His name is Amalickiah. Now you go to chapter 46 and you look at the chapter heading. It says Amalickiah conspires to be king. Now Amalickiah is one of those disaffected Nephites who has left the faith, and he is joining the Lamanites, and not just joining the Lamanites, he wants to be king over them. Verse number 3 tells us a little bit about him. The leader of those who were wroth against their brethren, again, the anger, the bitterness is what is driving these guys, was a large and strong man. His name was Amalickiah. Feel free to boo him whenever you see him in the scriptures. Amalickiah was desirous to be a king, the king. And those people who were wroth were also desirous that he should be their king. And they were the greater part of them, the lower judges in the land, and they were seeking for power. They had also been led by the flatteries of Amalickiah, that if they would support him and establish him to be their king, he would make them rulers over his people. He's a bad dude. So again, how does a Nephite become the king of the Lamanites? Well, you go into chapter 47, and the chapter heading tells the whole story. Amalickiah uses treachery, murder, and intrigue to become king of the Lamanites. And then again, this phrase, the Nephite dissenters are more wicked and ferocious than the Lamanites. You really see that through the whole Book of Mormon, especially as you see the Lamanites convert and join the church. They are some of the most solid, wonderful individuals out there. Like I've said many times, I don't know if the Lamanites are really the bad guys here. Now, a quick rundown of this story. I've heard it referred to as the Lahontai principle, because one of the kings that Amalickiah has to get past to become king is a guy by the name of Lahontai. And he took a group of individuals who did not want to fight, took him at the top of a mountain, and Amalickiah is like, I gotta go after this guy. Now these guys, verse number 6 says, they are fixed in their minds with a determined resolution that they would not be subjected to go against the Nephites. They don't want to fight. They recognize, we don't want to do this. And so Amalickiah is like, nope, coming after you. Amalickiah's intention in verse number 8 is that he might place himself at their head, dethrone the king, take possession of the kingdom. So you can picture Lahontai at the top of this mountain, and Amalickiah is just simply trying to get him to come down, and he will not come down. So Amalickiah tries 3 times. He gradually keeps coming up. Now verse number 11, Amalickiah sends a message to him. Lahontai received the message. He durst not go down to the foot of the mount. Came to pass that Amalickiah sent a second time, desiring to come down. Came to pass that Lahontai would not, so he sent a third time. Came to pass when Amalickiah found that he could not get Lahontai to come down off the mount, he went up to the mount, nearly to Lahontai's camp. He sent a fourth time his message to Lahontai, desiring that he would come down and that he would bring his guards with him. Here's Amalickiah trying to get Lahontai to think he's in charge the whole time here. And what happens? Verse number 13, Lahontai had come down with his guards. And Amalickiah desired him to come down with his army in the nighttime, surround those men in their camps over whom the king had given him command, and that he would deliver them up to Lahontai's hand, if he would make him, Amalickiah, a second leader over the whole army. And Lahontai like, that sounds like a good deal to me. Verse 15, this was the very thing that Amalickiah desired. Now, it just so happened, verse 17, it was a custom among the Lamanites that if their chief leader was killed, to appoint the second leader to be their chief leader. Came to pass that Amalickiah caused that one of his servants should administer poison by degrees to Lahontai, and that he died, and he ends up being the leader over all the Lamanites. And you see, back in chapter 46, verse number 9, this is Mormon giving his commentary, yea, and we also see the great wickedness one very wicked man can cause to take place among the children of men, as Amalickiah is trying to destroy the liberty of these Nephites. Now on the other side, you got this guy, Chief Captain Moroni, this guy that we introduced you to a couple episodes ago. Now if you were to change the verbiage of verse number 9 to, yea, we also see the great righteousness that one very good man can cause to take place among the children of men, you have got Captain Moroni. And this is where we see the chapter where he introduces the title of liberty. As Moroni tears his coat wrote writes upon it in memory of our God, our religion and freedom, our peace, our wives, our children. And he fastened it upon a pole, calls this the title of liberty, and goes forward in this cause called the cause of the Christians, which I think is so cool. It is the cause of Christ that they are fighting for. You know, in our world today, we got so many different causes out there, and we have a lot of people who want to follow and work with a cause. I think a lot of people just want to help out. The best thing someone can do is to fight for the cause of the Christians right there. Because I really think if you get someone to come unto Christ, it's going to change all of the other behaviors out there. That's why our missionaries out there are inviting others to come unto Christ, the best cause out there, the cause of the Christians, and I love it. Now, as Moroni hoisted this title of liberty up, verse 21 is so cool. When Moroni had proclaimed these words, behold, the people came running together. It caused some momentum for them. And then Amalickiah gets a little bit nervous down in verse 29. It says, Amalickiah saw that the people of Moroni were more numerous than the Amalickiahites, kind of a fun word. He also saw that his people were doubtful concerning the justice of the cause in which they had undertaken. The Lamanites are like, look, this hatred that we're doing, I don't think this is the best idea. Therefore, fearing that he should not gain the point, he took those of his people who would and departed into the land of Nephi. And I love verse number 36 because this starts some momentum for the cause of the Christians. It came to pass also that he caused the title of liberty to be hoisted upon every tower which was in all of the land which was possessed by the Nephites. And thus Moroni planted the standard of liberty among the Nephites. Moroni is a wonderful leader. In fact, you get into chapter 48 where you really get to see his personality. I remember seeing a teacher one time do this. He said, ladies, this is your guy who you want to marry because he has got the best qualities out there. And then focused on the qualities of Moroni as being like qualities of a future husband. And I feel bad for every guy out there who has to stand up to this type of an ideal. Here's a man, verse number 7 of chapter 48, preparing the minds of the people to be faithful unto the Lord their God. Verse number 11, a man of perfect understanding. What lady wouldn't want that, right? A man who didn't delight in bloodshed. You know, we see this time of war, and Moroni is often looked at as this great military leader. He didn't like killing people. That was not his thing. He was more interested in preserving liberty. His heart did swell with thanksgiving to his God. He was firm in the faith of Christ. This great well-known verse in verse 17, if all men, this is Mormon speaking here, if all men had been, were, and ever would be like unto Moroni, behold, the very powers of hell would have been shaken forever. Yea, the devil would never have power over the hearts of the children of men, which shows you why Mormon named his son Moroni. Now, one of the best things, and this kind of levels the playing field a little bit for the rest of us who maybe aren't as Moroni-like as we would like to be. Verse number 18, behold, he was a man like unto Ammon, the son of Mosiah, yea, and even the other sons of Mosiah, yea, also Alma and his sons, for they were all men of God. Behold, Helaman and his brethren, and I love this statement, were no less serviceable unto the people than was Moroni. You know, we hold Moroni to this high ideal, which I totally get, and he is deserving of it. But when you start throwing in men like Ammon, you start throwing in people like Corey Anson, these are individuals who started off their lives doing bad stuff. So one of the greatest qualities of a man of God is one who is willing to repent and change. One of the greatest qualities out there. So as you're looking at the bad guy that is Amalickiah, you look at the good guy that is Moroni and making sure that the greatest quality of that wonderful man Moroni is someone who's willing to turn his heart over to God. And that is a man who the devil will never have power over. I love learning about these individuals in the Book of Mormon because it helps me understand how to overcome the adversary and how to become more like Jesus. I am grateful for these chapters and I know they're true. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing and thanks for sharing these messages. As always, we're so grateful that you do that. And if you like what you see, click the like button. You got to go check out our amazingly comfortable gospel themed socks at bombsocks.com. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.